Hello, guys and gals. First off, I want to just start with a disclaimer that I am not doing a President Trump impersonation, or I'm not trying to mimic his voice or anything like that. I went to the hair salon today, and I told the girl in there that when I leave this place, I want to feel like the most amazing person in the world. And and this is what she came up with. So I was I was watching her like in the process, and I was getting a little nervous. I'm thinking, what are you doing? And then I saw it coming together, and I was like, that looks familiar. And then I got it. I says, you know, I understand what you're doing now. And then she says to me, yeah, well, we're giving you the hairstyle of the leader of our country. And when you walk out of here, how can you feel any better than that? And I agree with that. So when I left, I felt really good, and I felt like, like sort of, like the greatest person in the world. And it was worth the whatever $150, $200 hair salon I went to. This is what they cost nowadays, instead of the $5 or $10 it used to cost me, back in the day. But so we're gonna talk about some things, but my mouth's getting a little dry, so you have to talk about Nancy Pelosi and her obscene attempt to push through her version of a bill that brings us back to the failed Obama era, because we already attempted the Green New Deal, what AOC wants. They all want to go back to what Obama tried and failed. We all know about Solyndra and A123 Systems, which are two companies just off the top of my head that I know tanked. One, A123 Systems, was a battery storage company, and Solyndra, we all know, was a solar panel company, which our country wasn't ready for. And maybe it'll be ready for that 50 years from now, 100 years from now. But right now, we still get 40% of our energy from coal. Windmills and solar panels and whatever else these Democrats have for ideas can't make up that 40%. And I know that there must be like some kind of unicorn that like hops around from Democrat's house to Democrat's house and gives them these crazy ideas, because any economist that I've seen so far has stated that I don't know the exact cost, 10 trillion, 90 trillion, whatever it is, dollar idea is not feasible. It cannot financially work. So if I could figure that out, and I'm drinking wine and and doing what I'm doing, then why can't Democrats figure out these numbers? Why do they think that they could ruin our holidays that are coming up? We have Governor Cuomo talking about 9 months. We have the governor of Minnesota and California talking about 9 months. Why don't they just come out and say it, and just say they're going to try to tank the country until Election Day to ruin President Trump's economy, and just admit the truth, instead of this garbage nonsense that they're pulling, where they're trying to take advantage of a pandemic. And they're using as an excuse when we have medications coming out and cures, and they're still slinging around 9 months. Know what? We don't have to wait 9 months. President Trump is going to start the country back up on Easter. I'm not waiting 9 months. If you want to wait 9 months for anything, go to another country. Wait there 9 months. That's not America. We don't wait 9 months for something. We're not any other country in the world. We're the United States. We can make things happen a bit quicker than some of these other countries. And I'm not seeing the numbers that this Chinese virus is being pushed at. This Trojan horse that the Democrats are using to try to push through the Green New Deal and whatever other nonsense. And that's all it is. Yeah, does it exist? Is the Chinese virus out there? Are people dying? Some people are dying. From what I've read, some of the people were already sick with other illnesses. Or they're old people. I've read a couple of young people died, but they had illnesses. And they don't tell you that. They're using these numbers for what they want. They're using it for political gain. Now, President Trump's doing the right thing. He doesn't have anything else to gain. He's already the president. What's he going to gain? The only thing he has to gain is the success of our country, the success of the American economy. That's what Americans should be for, a thriving U.S. economy. If you're not for a thriving U.S. economy, you're basically an enemy of our country. We all knew that when the markets were going gangbusters, when it went up to 29,000, we all knew that the deep state and certain players were going to do something to bring the markets down. We knew there was going to be an attack on the economy before Election Day. Nobody really was caught off guard, if you want to be honest about it. So, but anyway, I'm here to have some fun too. This isn't the same as being on Facebook Live. I can't see my friends' comments. Facebook's giving me a hard time. I did 3 videos live and no problems. I did a 4th video today, just like this. And it was up for a little while, and then it was just like wiped right off my account. And it looks like it might be a glitch. It looks like some friends may be able to see it. They're making comments on it. I can't see the video anymore. So let's see what YouTube's all about. Whatever. It's probably not much different, but we'll try. But anyway, in my past videos, which none of you have been able to see because I'm in a new place now, you might see that I was taking a little swig here and there. Some people probably think I drink a lot now, and I don't want to remove all doubt. So, listen, okay, we're having a little bit of fun, but we got to be serious a little bit about this Chinese virus thing. But to the extent of, listen, stay inside a while. If you got to go out and go shopping or go to the bank or whatever, do your errands in one day, come back in, stay in another 3-4 days until you got to go back out and do what you got to do. But if America is not about staying in your house or your apartment for 3 weeks or 4 weeks. And I understand that these are this is a different kind of time. It might be considered a dire time, but I'm not going to wear a mask and walk around with latex gloves. And I seen a little bit of that today when I was in my hometown of, I'll say where it was, I don't care, Hastings-on-Hudson, New York. So I was in my hometown, and I'm watching cars drive by, and this guy's in his car, and he's driving with a mask on. And then this woman drives by, and she's wearing rubber gloves, latex gloves, while she's driving. So I'm thinking to myself, if this woman had these latex gloves on when she was outside of the car, and them gloves got corona, can't say that word. Well, I could on here. I think that's what got me on Facebook. But we're going to stick with the Chinese virus. We'll call it that. If those gloves got that Chinese virus on it, and she got into her car and touched her steering wheel, well, she just brought the Chinese virus into her car. No one ever said that the virus don't stick to the outside of the latex gloves. So if you're going to use gloves, you would have to use gloves outside your vehicle, do whatever you're going to do. But then once you get in your vehicle, it wouldn't make sense to put another pair of gloves on, because you already took off the gloves before you got in your vehicle, and your hands should be fine. So this is things that liberals can't figure out. They struggle with things like this. They're not even good with numbers. That's why they can't manage the economy. They can't have anything to do with financials or economics. You got to give them a paintbrush, stuff like that. Let them show their artistic ability. Let them act, do Hollywood, that kind of thing. Let them have their fun. Let them sing and dance. They do that kind of stuff good. But leave all of the things that the country relies on, leave that to conservatives. And the left also pushes the idea that all of the scientists and all of the teachers and all of the professors and all of the people of higher education are all automatically liberals. That's nonsense. There are a lot of conservative professors, scientists, doctors. You see doctor in front of the name of a lot of people that are running for Congress right now in the Republican Party, for the GOP. There's people that served in the military. They flew airplanes that cost millions of dollars, navigated ships that cost millions of dollars. These people are Republicans. Not to say that there's not Democrats that don't do that, but 66% of the military did vote for President Trump. So, and 66% of the military support President Trump. So, whatever. I'll take those numbers, and I'll respect the Democrats that served in the military. Thank you for your service. And we'll leave it at that. But my main point was don't try to say conservatives are only like the people that you want to say they are, and not to say that there's nothing wrong with those people. If you want to say conservatives are only farmers only, well, do you want to eat tonight? So no one is only a farmer. No one is only someone from the Bible Belt. Those are the people that are getting food to the big cities. So if you want to sort of like irritate people that you consider like rednecks and hillbillies and whatever else you want to call people, don't rely on a food supply. You're worrying about food getting replaced in the supermarkets right now. You better start loving conservatives, I'll tell you that right now. The good thing is that conservatives, they're Bible people. They're not going to hold a grudge, and they're not going to say, "Well, you're not going to get my corn off my crops. You're not going to get my pigs, the ranchers. You're not going to get my beef." Sure, they want money too, but if it really hit the fan, they don't have to send those food sources to large cities. They may need it. What if they decided they're extra hungry and that their friends around their area are extra hungry? So you better thank farmers, you better thank truckers, thank these people that are in positions and they have occupations that you really don't care about when you're up in like the 30th floor of the building you work in your cubicle, surfing the net, trying to figure out what you're going to buy on Amazon. Let me drink a little more of this. And I'm here to have fun, believe it or not. Even though I'm talking about serious stuff, and I could do it. I could do it while I'm having a little drink. You got to have some. This is 6.8% by volume. You got to have your internal cleanser. You need some alcohol for your insides as well as your outside. Everyone's looking for that 90% isopropyl, whatever, alcohol. What do I look like, a scientist? Whatever, that's close enough. And they're only worrying about their outside of their body. You got to worry about the inside too. Your liver can handle it, as long as you don't abuse it. You drink one beer, one wine, and you kill the Chinese virus before it gets to your lungs. And I just touched my face too, but I could do that because I'm inside my place where I already used hand sanitizer. I already washed my hands with antibacterial bar soap, which some of you may not be thinking about because you were all rushing to get to that hand sanitizer with the pump bottle. Well, you all got it, just like you all got the toilet paper. Have fun with it. Have fun hoarding all of that stuff. It's and if this isn't the big one, if this isn't the big when the crap hits the fan moment, a lot of the liberals have shown their cards. They have shown that they will come down the hill to their local supermarket and they will clear the shelves and hoard up in their places where they live. The place they usually don't come down to the town from much. So this is where, if this is just a minor one, which they're not pushing it as minor, they're trying to make it out to be the end of the world and crash the markets, all of that, hurt President Trump, hurt America. What? For science, for the medical community, so they could feel like they're saving the world, like some person that was like doing almost nothing a couple of months ago. And then all of a sudden they're first responders. We know who the first responders are. We know we support our firemen and our police. We support our National Guard, paramedics, ambulance, And I know there's people that extend out from there. But, doctors, nurses, okay. I understand all of that, but I'm not going to start saying that, okay, everyone has secretaries and stuff, and I respect secretaries, but I'm not going to count a secretary for a doctor as a first responder. Can you? Maybe. If you want to, go ahead. Maybe I'm off the mark there, but maybe I'm not. So we'll just move away from that. I really don't drink that much, so So, back to Nancy Pelosi's bill. And the Democrats basically they're holding a knife to the throats of Americans, of the American worker. They want what has nothing to do with the American that's out of work right now getting compensation for not working. Those people who aren't working because of this Chinese virus need to be compensated. The Republicans understand this, but the Democrat excuse is that the Republicans want a bailout for corporations. There it is. That's what it always is. And corporations aren't people. That's the Democrat socialist line. It's nonsense, and we all know it. Corporations employ people. So yeah, corporations aren't technically people, but they represent a lot of people. They represent a lot of jobs. They represent a lot of employment of people. So technically, they are the people. You can't get around that. You don't have to give a person... The Republicans are allowing $1,200 for the people, to those people out of work. That will go directly to the person. But they also want to support our corporations that got hit hard and are getting hit hard by this, like hotels, restaurants, corporations like, oil. Because oil companies are getting hurt right now because there's not much travel going on. There's not all of the things happening that oil relies on. It's not the end of the world. We still need oil. When we don't need oil anymore, then you could cry about supporting oil companies. Right now you can't. We're still reliant on oil. It's a fact. We still need fossil fuels. So, but the word I was looking for that I just couldn't bring up was subsidize. So, the liberals don't like subsidizing oil companies. They want like the whole world to like not have any of what they need and what the whole world relies on, which is still oil, fossil fuels, natural gas. But we know the liberals are off base with a lot of things. They try to claim that they invented being environmentally friendly. Come on. I don't go outside and pollute on purpose just because I'm a Republican or a conservative. I've been recycling my whole life. I've probably recycled more than any Democrat or liberal has. I could go into the details. I could go into the detail of recycling and going to the junkyard when I was young to get money from squashed aluminum cans, maybe like copper pipe that you find laying around, or brass. These elitist liberals, you think they did that? You think an elitist liberal brought in brass or copper or aluminum, an aluminum door, shingling, gutters to get money? No, they didn't need the money. They're elitist. They got the money. They live in their gated communities. Not to say that there's not rich, wealthy Republicans, but at least a conservative or a Republican understands the concept of that kind of recycling. Who do you know that squashes aluminum cans? Or who do you know that doesn't just throw their cat food cans in the garbage? And they could save that aluminum and bring it back to the junkyard when it adds up. That aluminum is needed for our country, just like steel is needed for our country. We had Obama as president who was against coal. Guess what you need coal for? To make steel. Who needs steel? Our military. So, in his 8 years, he completely tore apart everything that was needed and is needed to keep America in good standing, in a powerful standing. And now we have President Trump, thankfully, that understood all of this. He knew what was happening for 8 years. And he knew what he had to do when he became president. And thank God he did, because he helped coal out. He knows that steel is needed for our military. He strengthened our military. He did everything that was necessary, that was within his power. And he's still being fought by the opposition party, which is the Democrats, who are being taken over by a more extreme opposition party, which are the socialists. So the socialists are trying to take over the Democratic Party, drag it farther to the left, and make it even crazier than it is now. So, but there are enough Democrats out there and independents that can see what's happening, and they either left the Democratic Party already, or it's hashtag walk away. So that's a big thing that's happening right now. So you walk away from the Democratic Party. It's right now, it's for like people that are like sort of touched, like not touched in the heart, like touched in the head. And it's not good. So I'm here having a little fun. I gotta post this later. I'm gonna try posting this on Facebook, see if they take it down, because I can't say too much about the medical part of what's happening right now, because they don't like that. Facebook is targeting anything that has to do with the Chinese virus, because they think if you say something, even if you're kidding, say right now, this isn't serious, say this, I'm just doing this for comedic value. They can't tell the difference. They don't care. But if you say something concerning their term of the Chinese virus, which I won't say because I only consider that a beer, they'll say they'll flag it. They'll say it's not true. The fact checkers will hit it. It gets a little crazy. You guys all know. I'm not telling you something you don't know. So anyway, I'm going to cut this. I've been rambling for like almost a half an hour now. So I'm gonna end this, and I'm gonna wish everybody a good health, and good luck, and be smart. Do what you have to do to keep yourself, do the social distancing. Whatever, 6 feet, not hanging out in a big crowd. You can see I'm alone right now, so I'm doing it. But I had to go out and do things today, so I had no problem with going out and going shopping, going to the bank, getting some takeout food, helping out the community that's hurting right now, because you can't even go into a restaurant and sit in New York now. So you could just help out. That's a good thing to do right now. If you do go out, help out by stopping in a restaurant that does take out, a pizza place, Chinese food place. It's not just because this happened in China, it doesn't mean that the Chinese people here have anything. We can support our Asian community here. There's nothing wrong with that at all. President Trump tweeted about it earlier today. And just have a good night, and do what you got to do, and let's get America back on track.